Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with a weekly review video with Johnny. We'll have a look at some of the things that have caught Johnny's attention over the last week or so. So let's go to the video. All right, Johnny, how are you this week?
Good, Stu. Getting into the swing of the week. I'm allowed to say that because we're recording a bit earlier this week, of course. How are you?
That's true. That's true. Are you back at the office still?
So we're back a couple of days a week. So I'll be going in tomorrow, but working from home today.
Oh, okay, all right, good. So a bit of a mix at the moment.
Yeah, a bit of a mix.
I suppose
we don't have to.
Sorry?
Yeah, no, we don't have to be 100% back at the office yet. So we could go in with like a reservation system and when we want. Yeah.
And what's the general feeling like? Are people eager to get back into office life, or people are accustomed now to working from home?
It's a bit of a mix of both. You have people who enjoy the office. You have people who are used to working from home. I think people who live further out are obviously happy working from home.
Yeah.
People who enjoy others' company. I probably include myself in that. Enjoy going back to the office. But yeah, we've got to see the benefits of both through this over the last year and a half.
Absolutely, we have, yeah, especially for people working in offices, that's right, yeah, different style of work, absolutely. All right, good, so what's on the agenda today, Johnny? Starting off with national debt.
Yes, so can you remember what it was at the end of 2020 to start with?
112.
109, so it was 119 at the end of 2020.
Okay, so I was a bit off.
Yeah. But yeah, so at the end of March, it reached 125%. So national debt is still on the rise, unfortunately.
So where's the money being spent? Bailout companies or airline companies? Where's that money going?
Well, I think the article I've read doesn't give anything specific, but from the news, I think we've seen everything from extending the ERTE payments,
furlough scheme,
help for autonomous, the case of Plus Ultra, I think that's obviously received a bailout from the government. So yeah, there's just a few things that have probably contributed to the national debt, and the autonomous community debt has increased as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, probably I would imagine that's related to increased health expenditure, probably.
Well, most likely that's one of the biggest expenses in the autonomous communities and here in Spain, of course, education and health. Yeah. That is right, yeah. So 125% of GDP, so a lot of money, yeah. And any talk about how they're going to bring it down, or this is going to be debt that we're carrying for 3 or 4 generations?
Well, no talk yet, it seems, but the Bank of Spain has definitely asked the government to clarify what they're planning to do. They've asked the government to clarify how they plan to reduce the national debt, how they plan to reduce the deficit. And they've also highlighted that countries like the UK, where national debt has increased, have at least got a clear plan and outline for dealing with it.
Well, the UK has a clear plan, does it?
According to what I've read, the UK has a plan. This is a quote taken from the Bank of Spain. They've highlighted the UK has a plan for dealing with it, and they've asked the Spanish government, please give us a plan, or please explain what the plan is to reduce it. Yeah.
Well, there we go. Yeah, I think the Bank of Spain is not the government's favourite organisation at the moment, considering they've been criticising a few things over the last couple of weeks, but. The debt's been high for a while. I mean, it's been over 100% now for a while. I mean, I think ever since the last financial crisis that, it went up and up and up and up, and there's been trouble to bring it down, of course, and this new crisis is just exacerbating the problem even further.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was 95% at the end of 2019.
Was it? Okay.
Yes, so still very close though to that 100%, like you say.
Yeah.
A problem that's been around for a while, as you say.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't seem to be a government priority. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't really hear them talking too much about it. They don't really seem to talk about the economy very much. They seem to be focused on other things at the moment. So. Non-economic matters, let's say, right? The Moroccan crisis has been making the headlines. That seemed to occupy a lot of the government's time. The Prime Minister seems hell-bent on meeting with Joe Biden, hasn't been successful with that, and you don't really hear them talking about the economy, the Catalan prisoner pardon, which is the number one focus of the government at the moment. But the economy, back burner.
I'll not get into the politics of it all, but it's an interesting observation now that you say it. I haven't heard this government talk too much about the economy from the times that I have heard it speak. I've heard them talk about their ambition for recovery of the economy. I've heard them talk about what they want to do with the transformation of the economy.
Well, that's what we spoke about last week, wasn't it? That what was it? The ecological transition, was it? The more sustainable economy. We hear a lot about that, but bringing down the debt.
Yeah, I must admit, I haven't heard too much about it from what I have seen.
Yeah, so we'll see if they do detail a plan similar to the one that Boris Johnson obviously has done there for the Bank of England. So we'll see. All right, good. Next on the agenda, Johnny, luxury hotel sector is recovering in Madrid at least. Yes.
So there's 34 luxury hotels in Madrid, if I'm not mistaken. 14 of which are
34.
Apparently, yeah. This is what I've read.
So 5 stars.
Yeah, so 5 stars definitely included. There may be some 4 stars in there as well, but I think there's probably quite a lot of 4 stars in Madrid. So maybe so maybe it's exclusively 5 stars.
Could be, yeah. But that's the 4-star quality in Madrid is very, very good. In fact, it's probably, I don't know whether it's 5-star quality in some other places, but I don't know if you've stayed in too many 4-star hotels in Spain, Johnny, but they're normally quite good.
Yeah, I've stayed in a 4-star in Oviedo once, and I think I've stayed in a 4-star once here before I officially moved here to live, and I agree the quality is very good.
That's it.
So, but yeah, these 5-star hotels then must be quite something.
That's true.
Let's put it that way.
They must be. I had a friend who worked in a place called the Hotel Palace in the centre of Madrid. Don't know if you know it, but it's very close to let me think where it's located. It's very close to the Parliament building and close to the Prado Museum, that area there, bang in the centre. And a very high-class hotel, that one with a long history of being one of the top hotels in the city. So what's the reason for the recovery? International travel or local travel or business? I mean, what is it?
Yeah, well, as I say, 14 have reopened. So, and of course, travel restrictions have been eased here. The country is now opening up. So, yeah, I would imagine that travel is also contributing to that. Something else to notice is there's 2 new luxury hotels that are opening up as well. So the Hard Rock Hotel is opening up.
Hard Rock Hotel, really? I hadn't heard of that.
There is a Hard Rock Hotel, opening up. I believe it's the 1st of July. 1st of July, the Hard Rock Hotel. And Cristiano Ronaldo, of course, has a hotel now in Madrid that I think he owns fully or partially. I can't remember which one, but he has some ownership in a new luxury hotel in Madrid, which is supposed to open this year as well.
What's that called? The CR7 Hotel or something, is it?
I'll have to get the name. Okay,
good. The Hard Rock, is that the same chain as the diner chain? Is it the same like the restaurants?
Well, that's the first thing that came to my mind, yeah. I thought, interesting. I'd never heard of a Hard Rock Hotel, but the cafes I'd obviously heard of. Yeah. So ironically, yes, Cristiano Ronaldo's hotel is called Pestana CR7 Lifestyle Hotels.
There we go. I knew there would have to be a CR in there somewhere. Yeah. So the Hard Rock Hotel, I'd heard an Elvis song called the Heartbreak Hotel. I'd never heard of the Hard Rock Hotel. But obviously they're expanding and they see Madrid as a potential market, obviously. But that is a luxury sector that's always been quite prominent. I mean, Madrid is a tourism mecca, let's say, a world tourism mecca. We've mentioned it before, Johnny, that before the pandemic, 80-something million people coming to Madrid, to Spain, and a lot of people passing through Madrid. So there's a lot of money in luxury travel, yeah.
Yeah, and I get the impression as well that particularly for luxury tourism, Madrid is a hotspot as well with these luxury hotels. But it's not quite at the level of Paris, with all the shops on the Champs-Élysées. But you have got some of that, luxury tourism aspect in Madrid as well. I get the impression.
Yeah,
Whether it's dining or restaurants or maybe shopping to some extent, but
yeah. Well, that's actually a good point. I don't think there's the same. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think there's the same money in Madrid that there is in a place like Paris or a London. Where you have that that very rich group of people that frequent hotels like that, and those. I mean, you see, when you go to a place like London, you see money walking down the street, basically, right? If you go to Knightsbridge and those places around there, and Park Lane and places like that. I mean, you see it here, but not to the same extent. I mean, even that hotel that I mentioned before, the Palace, it's not in an exclusive area of the city per se. I mean, it's a nice area of the city, but it's not an area that I would call a luxury area. Maybe on the other side, of the road, it is a little bit better, but that particular side, no.
Yeah, well, actually, I had to look into luxury hotels in Madrid a little bit for something I've got coming up. But I find your observation true. I find a lot of the luxury hotels to be somewhat in the center, whether it's next to Sol or near the Retiro.
Yeah.
So yeah, not particularly exclusive part of the city, so to speak.
The most exclusive part of Madrid actually is just behind the Retiro Museum. So it's sort of in between the Prado Museum, the Retiro Park and the Prado Museum, in between there. I think that's one of the most exclusive parts of the city, and that's where the Ritz Hotel is. So that hotel is located there.
Okay.
But some of the other hotels are just on the Castellana, main avenue. I think one of the other main hotels is located there. So they're scattered around the central part of the city.
Yeah, definitely.
That's it. All right, good, Johnny. What's next?
Yeah, so let's. So I saw an article behind the paywall, so I couldn't get all of it, but I got enough of the key facts out. And I understand the topic enough to have a discussion with you about it. So it's about
those pesky paywalls. They get in the way, don't
they? Right. Yeah, and I'm too frugal to what I pay for membership.
That's it.
Yeah. Anyway, so the old debate of buying a ready-made apartment, ready-made, in conditions to be able to live in it, or buy one and refurbish it. So you can get apartments to refurbish for about 28% of the price of one that's ready to live in. You're most likely going to be able to get it undervalued, and then you could either make a profit or you've saved yourself a lot of money in refurbishing it. But yeah, it's a good point for discussion, because as much as you save money, you got a lot of hassle probably in getting all this stuff. Me, as someone who's lived in an apartment next to apartments that are being refurbished, it's a constant nightmare as a neighbor. Probably as someone doing that, you'll suffer a lot. If you hire in a team of builders or workers to do it, then that also it'll cost you more money, and it might take more time than you were originally expecting, right?
Yeah, I have seen that is the trend, that companies are taking over these properties, renovating them, decking them out, furniture, everything, and they're just basically just walking off the street and everything's ready for you, right? So it takes away that hassle that you said, that you have to buy a place and go through constant banging and so forth while you're living there, or having to pay for rented accommodation while that's going on. And I suppose it is what people are looking for nowadays, the more comfortable option. Yeah,
well, from a company perspective, the last two apartments, so the previous one and this one, are both that. They've essentially been old apartments.
So where you are there, is it quite an established area, or are some of the flats around quite old?
Yeah, they are. There's a lot of older flats in the part of Madrid where I am as well.
Narrow streets.
So there's a main road actually out the front, but yeah, the side streets are narrow.
Quite narrow, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I've seen in some neighborhoods in Madrid, and I imagine this is happening around the country as well, that a lot of the old shops that have gone bankrupt because of the COVID-19 crisis, so hairdressers, butcher shops, other types of shops that are on the street level, are being bought up by companies, and they're being turned into homes. And there's a new way of living in Madrid, basically, because before it wasn't common for people to live on that street level. It was more common to be on the first floor, the second floor, third floor, etc. But now the renovation of old shops is becoming quite popular. And actually, it's quite a good way to get into the property market because, it is a new way of living and there are some bargains to be found.
Yeah, and I think particularly on a ground floor level, you'll pay a lot less than you would for a first, second, third floor apartment, right?
Yeah, I saw this. I saw a television program a couple of months ago it is quite common now for people to buy these old shops that have been empty for a while and to turn them into houses and street level living in Madrid, which, as I said, wasn't that common before, or at least I didn't get the impression that it was.
Yeah, it's an interesting. It's certainly a business opportunity.
Well, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've got an empty shop sitting there, you may as well try to turn it into some type of vivienda, or vivienda, as they say, and make it profitable again. And there's a market for it.
Yeah, and sad as it is to see a lot of shops or bars with the Se Vende sign in the window today.
Are you seeing that in your neighbourhood?
Yeah, there's a few in my neighborhood, unfortunately, where I've seen that, and even just walking around Madrid in general. I mean, you see it. But yeah, like you say, it backs up your point. There's definitely a market for that.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm not sure of the exact area that you live in, but I think there are quite a few. How would I say this? Quite a few commercial streets.
Yeah. There's quite a few nearby. Yeah.
That's it. All right, good. So anything else on that topic, Johnny?
So that was all that I had there, Stu.
All right, great. So we'll start to wrap it up then. A bit of a shorter video today because obviously we're recording on a different day. So we'll start to wrap it up. But good speaking to you again, Johnny.
Yeah, same, Stu, and we'll be in touch.
We'll be in contact for next week. Have a good one.
Perfect, you too.
See you later. So there we go. That was the weekly review video with Johnny. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. Debate the situation out as you normally do. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego.